Imagine holding a tiny piece of metal in your hand, a coin that has traveled through thousands of years, passed from hand to hand, across markets, temples, and battlefields. It looks simple, just a circle of bronze or silver, maybe a faded image carved into its surface. But here's the truth, every ancient coin is more than just money. It's a message, a symbol, a secret code left behind by kings, emperors, and entire civilizations. And today, we're diving deep into the mystery behind ancient coins, what they really meant, and the hidden history they carry. Let's start with a coin you've probably seen in textbooks, a Roman denarius, gleaming silver, stamped with the head of Julius Caesar. At first glance, it's just a portrait. But in the ancient world, this was revolutionary. Julius Caesar was the first Roman leader to put his own face on the currency while still alive. Before that, coins usually carried symbols of gods, temples, or abstract power. By stamping his image onto every coin, Caesar was spreading his message to millions. I am not just a man, I am the state itself. Every purchase, every trade, every soldier's payment was a reminder of his authority. This wasn't just money, it was propaganda in your pocket. And it wasn't just Rome. If we travel further back in time, to ancient Greece, the symbolism of coins becomes even richer. Picture Athens during its golden age. Their coins, known as tetradrachms, were stamped with the image of the goddess Athena on one side, and her sacred owl on the other. The owl wasn't random, it represented wisdom, vigilance, and divine favor. These coins spread far beyond Athens, found across the Mediterranean. Every time a trader saw the owl, it whispered, "This silver comes from Athens, the city of philosophers and warriors." It was both currency and branding centuries before marketing was invented. But here's where the mystery deepens. Archaeologists often find coins buried in places where they were never meant to be spent, inside temple foundations, hidden in tombs, or buried beneath city walls. Why? Because coins weren't just for trade. They were offerings. They carried symbolic weight, acting as tokens for the gods, or as a kind of spiritual passport for the afterlife. In ancient Egypt, small bronze coins have been found placed on the eyes of mummies, a payment for the journey beyond. The most famous example comes from Greek mythology, the coin placed in the mouth of the dead, a fare for Charon, the ferryman who carried souls across the river Styx. Whether every Greek believed this literally doesn't matter. The act of placing a coin with the dead shows us how powerful these little discs of metal were in people's imagination. Now, let's move eastward, to the Persian Empire. The Persians minted coins known as darics, gold pieces stamped with the image of the king holding a bow. These weren't just convenient tokens for trade. They were a statement: the king is the great archer, protector of his people, warrior against his enemies. Every soldier, every merchant who touched that coin was reminded of the king's strength. In a way, it was like carrying a pocket-sized poster of imperial power. Today, when we find these coins in archaeological digs, we're not just looking at metal. We're looking at messages from the ancient world, preserved in gold. But not all coins were about rulers and power. Some contain secrets so strange that historians still debate them today. Take, for example, the mysterious Celtic coins found across Europe. Unlike the perfectly realistic images of Greek and Roman coins, Celtic designs were often abstract, twisted, almost dreamlike. Horses broken into swirling patterns, faces stretched into bizarre shapes. Were these simply artistic styles, or were they coded messages, carrying hidden spiritual meanings known only to the tribe? Some scholars believe the strange designs were tied to shamanistic rituals, symbols of transformation and the unseen world. When you hold one of these coins, you're staring into the mystic imagination of a culture that left few written records, but poured their identity into silver and gold. And here's something even wilder. Archaeologists in India have uncovered coins with symbols that seem to connect to astrology, sun, moon, and star motifs carefully arranged. Were these simply decorative? Or were they meant to align trade with cosmic order, reminding merchants that their wealth was under the watch of the heavens? In China, coins were cast with square holes in the center. This wasn't just practical for stringing them together. The circle and square together symbolized the harmony of heaven and earth, a constant reminder of cosmic balance carried in every transaction. Imagine that, every time you bought a sack of rice, you were holding a tiny piece of philosophy in your hand. Of course, the greatest thrill for archaeologists is when coins reveal hidden history, clues to events that never made it into ancient chronicles. For instance, in the deserts of Israel, hordes of coins have been found buried hastily, dating to the time of the Jewish revolts against Rome. Each coin is stamped not with Caesar's face, but with Hebrew inscriptions and images of palm trees and temple vessels. These were not just coins, they were acts of defiance. A statement: we reject Rome, we claim our own symbols, our own destiny. Without these coins, we might not fully grasp the courage and desperation of those times. The rebels didn't just fight with swords, they fought with symbols pressed into silver. Coins can also solve mysteries. In the ruins of Pompeii, destroyed in 79 after Christ by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, archaeologists found coins still in people's purses. These tiny time capsules revealed the exact wages, prices, and even the financial habits of Roman citizens right up to the moment of disaster. Think about that. While the ash was falling, while the city was being buried, someone clutched a few coins that we can still hold today. It's chilling, but it also connects us across 2,000 years of history. And then there are the coincidences, the little puzzles that spark endless debate. In the 20th century, a Roman coin was reportedly found buried in North America, far from the boundaries of the Roman Empire. Was it dropped by accident centuries later, carried in someone's collection? Or could it suggest long-lost transatlantic contact? Most experts lean toward the simpler explanation, but the story reminds us how a single coin, in the wrong place, can rewrite entire theories of history. Now, let's pause and really think about this. Coins are some of the most ordinary objects of human life. We carry them, spend them, lose them, and yet, when they survive from the ancient world, they become extraordinary. They speak across time, carrying the images of rulers who wanted to be remembered, the prayers of ordinary people, the hidden codes of forgotten cultures. A coin is the closest thing we have to holding history in the palm of our hand. So next time you see an ancient coin in a museum, look closer. That faded figure? It's not just decoration. It's a voice, whispering across centuries. Maybe it's Julius Caesar, proclaiming his power. Maybe it's a Greek philosopher's city, branding itself with an owl. Maybe it's an anonymous Celt, encoding spiritual visions in twisted shapes. Whatever it is, it's alive, still speaking, still carrying secrets. And perhaps the greatest mystery of all is this: how many more stories lie buried underground, waiting to be uncovered? Every archaeological dig, every coin hoard unearthed, brings us one step closer to understanding not just economics, not just politics, but the hopes, fears, and dreams of people long gone. A coin may be small, but its story is vast. This is why archaeologists treat coins like gold mines of information. They can date layers of ruins, trace trade networks, uncover hidden rebellions, and even reveal forgotten rulers whose names were erased from official history. Coins don't lie. They're snapshots of a world as it really was. And when we listen closely, they remind us that history isn't just written in dusty scrolls or carved on monuments. It's stamped into the smallest, most ordinary things we carry every day. So, the next time you hold a coin, any coin, pause for a moment. Look at its design, its words, its symbols. Ask yourself, what will this coin say about us? Centuries from now? Will future archaeologists see it as just currency, or as a message of who we were, what we valued, what we believed? Because if history has taught us anything, it's this: even the smallest objects can carry the biggest secrets. And that, my friends, is the true mystery behind ancient coins. They are not silent relics. They are storytellers, waiting for us to listen. If you enjoyed watching, be sure to hit that like button. It truly makes a difference for the channel. Pass this video along to a friend who enjoys a great mystery. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that so you don't miss what's coming next. There's still so much to explore, and I'd love to have you join me for it.